Hey mama, welcome to Your Purpose Poppin'. I'm Danielle and this is your bite-sized boost to reset your mindset, release the chaos, and step back into your day with purpose and peace. Over the next few minutes, we'll get refocused, refreshed, and realigned. So let's get to it. Okay, mamas. So if you did not listen last week, we were talking about all of the things we do as moms and just how we might be doing all of these things because we feel like we're not good enough. We might be doing things in our life that we wouldn't typically do to try to prove our worth, or we might not be doing some things that we would like to do, or we kind of feel like we're being maybe called to do, but we're not doing them because we don't feel worthy of them. So we talked about that a lot last week, and I started to really think about what is behind that and what are maybe some of the emotions that go along with that. And guilt, mom guilt, right? This is something that I feel like goes hand in hand with unworthiness. It goes hand in hand with doing or not doing all of these things that we are doing and creating in our life, right? We are creating a certain atmosphere in our life by all of the things that we choose to do or that we choose not to do, right? And we can sometimes get in this overwhelmed state. It definitely brings about all of these emotions that a lot of them trigger this mom guilt that we feel. And I know you know what I'm talking about, right? And I know everyone has heard the term now. It's not just guilt, it's mom guilt. It's this added pressure, this added guilt that we put on ourselves that is a lot of times, most of the time, unwarranted, right? There are, I'm sure, some guilty things that we should be feeling some guilt for, like maybe if you fly off the handle and, act in a certain way that you wish you would not have reacted, that maybe it's a little healthy to feel a little guilt about that so that you go and apologize and whatnot. But a lot of this guilt that we carry around as moms is ongoing, and it's very much unwarranted. It's very much something that if we were to really unpack it, there's other things underneath this mom guilt. And it is something that we need to break free from. And it's something that we need to, put behind us. And so I really want to dive into this on Thursday, but I'm hoping that between now and then, you will ask yourself, what are the things that I'm feeling guilty about? What are some things that I feel mom guilt about? And I'm sure there probably isn't a day that goes by. I know at least for me, when I look back to this time before I had prioritized everything, I had figured out what was important to me and why, and done all of this work on myself, that I was feeling guilty about everything. I was feeling guilty about not living up to what I wanted to do. I was feeling guilty about not doing some things that I wanted to do. I was feeling guilty about the way that I was parenting, the way that I didn't feel like we were doing enough of certain maybe fun things, the way that I felt like I was, at a heightened emotional state more than I wanted to be. And so I was overreacting or maybe reacting in such a way that I didn't want to be. I was feeling guilty about my house being a mess. I was feeling guilty, that I wasn't doing all of the, chores or mom duties that I felt like around the house were getting done. I would feel guilty about like some of the things I was feeding my kids. I would feel guilty about letting them watch like a show here or there so that I can like get some space. I would feel guilty about, you name it. And I probably felt guilty about it. And I know that you're probably sitting in a space where you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you do, I just want you to take some time between now and Thursday and go and think about, write it down. What are the things that you feel guilty about? And on Thursday, we're going to get into unpacking like why you might be feeling that guilt, what you can do to not feel that guilt. I wanted to read a quote that I found that is from David A. Bednar that says, "Guilt is to the spirit what pain is to the body. Guilt is to our spirit what pain is to our body. Think about that. It is debilitating. Pain is debilitating. Pain prevents you from doing things, right? Pain, it tells you when something is wrong with your body, right? Guilt is telling you when there's something wrong with your spirit, right? Guilt is preventing you probably from doing some things that you should be doing. It's affecting a lot in your life, and maybe a lot more than you even really recognize at this moment. And so I would love for you just to take a little bit of reflection and think about, what is it that I feel guilty as a mom for? And again, just keep a journal nearby, because most likely you're going to feel guilty for a lot more things than you think that you're going to feel guilty for. And on Thursday, we're going to talk about that guilt and maybe the root causes of some of that guilt and what we can do about it so that we don't stay with that guilt weighing us down anymore. So we don't let that guilt affect our spirit. So we don't let it affect our parenting. So we move forward without feeling that guilt, right? Like as pain is to the body, guilt is to our spirit. We don't want that, right? We do not want it, and we are going to talk about how to get rid of it, okay? So we'll unpack that on Thursday, and until then, go to prioritizewithpurpose.com, prioritizewithpurpose.com, because I would love to help you figure out who you are now so you can stop just surviving your days and start living them without the guilt, okay? So prioritizewithpurpose.com, and I will see you right back here on Thursday. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, Mama. If so, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts, and then hit share and send this to a mom who needs this in her day. I'll meet you right here on Thursday. Keep smiling, y'all.